right, our next speaker is currently working as a mental health counselor, specializes in relationships, trust, anger, and trauma. She's recently become nationally certified and is working on talks with larger audiences. So she'll be giving you the test audience, some information and tips about anger management in her talk, Managing Anger from Instant Rage to Inner Calm. Please welcome Toastmaster Myra Furey.
Good morning. Good morning. Have you ever experienced anger? I'm talking about going from 0 to 100 in seconds. In reality, we don't leap from perfect calm to complete rage. We go from aggravated to rage, and we miss the milder signs of anger along the way. Maybe we live in a state of heightened emotional distress where we're halfway to rage to begin with. Understanding what happens in our body during anger can empower us to manage this intense emotion. Many believe emotions are triggered by external events, where somebody did something that wasn't your fault. However, shifting our perspective can provide greater control. Instead of thinking that the external events are what causes the emotions, consider that our mind generates emotions that prompt actions to serve us and protect us. Ideally, these actions are ones that we can carry out and feel good about when we look back on them. Our thoughts, emotions, feelings, and sensations are signals from our unconscious to take an action. In animals, when a lion chases a zebra, the zebra's mind processes the threat and it triggers a cascade of reactions: heightened focus, increased energy, and strengthened legs. Once the lion stops chasing, the zebra resumes grazing. He is unaffected and does not have any fear of being chased or what's happening around the next corner. Humans react like animals, but that doesn't work well in our modern world. When we're afraid, blood drains from our face and our energy goes to our legs, and fight or flight kicks in. When we're angry, the blood actually rushes to our face and our jaws clench, and it's actually preparing us to bite, which is what animals do. However, unlike wild animals, when was the last time you were truly afraid for your life? So you can see that our anger response hinders us. Studies show that anger reduces our vocabulary by almost half. And Carson is from New Jersey, so that doesn't really leave him much vocabulary left. Anger is a temporary emotional state. Emotions last a minute and a half, provided we do not take actions that sustain them. For chronic ruminators, anger has severe health consequences, worse than if they had just repressed their emotions. Walking away and counting to 10 fails for ruminators because they spend their time recounting 10 reasons instead of taking 10 seconds. A ruminator would be better off solving a math problem instead of being told to count to 10. Anger is considered a secondary emotion, and anger lasts more longer-lasting emotion than sadness is. Sadness is more poignant and relatable, but anger pushes others away. Anger has its strengths. It boosts focus, motivation, and physical readiness. However, it undermines creativity, logic, reasoning, clarity, strategy, all qualities essential for addressing the challenges effectively. Ironically, anger diminishes the very tools that could help us respond more wisely to these threats. Some people resist letting go of anger, believing it is justified. They may feel that that having no anger means that what the other person did was okay. They may believe that their anger keeps the other party on the hook for what they did. They may fear becoming vulnerable if they let go of their anger. Nelson Mandela compared anger to drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. A poignant reminder of its destructive nature. So, 3 practical steps for managing anger. Recognize the signs early, like when we aren't sweating the small stuff. Addressing anger when it is only an annoyance is far easier than managing full-blown rage. We don't want to be blindsided when our anger escalates. Lower your emotional baseline. Find the things that drive you crazy and practice stress-reducing techniques. A lower baseline where you feel more at peace and joyful will help you respond to situations with greater resilience. Shift your emotional states. Anger, like every emotional state, is transient. To calm yourself, try 30 seconds of physical space by taking 20 steps away and taking a deep breath to calm your nervous system. I like using Huberman Lab. He gave an example of how to take a breath, so I'd like you all to do it with me. So if you can take a big breath in, and when you get to the top, take an extra breath, and then let that out very, very slowly. And you want to have about 3 or 4 breaths per minute, and that will slow down your system and bring you to a place more at peace. And then 30 seconds of bilateral movement. So if you're in a space, say like this, and you don't have a lot of room, you can tap one foot and then tap the other, where people wouldn't notice so much. Walking is a bilateral movement, and then using your arms, like trying not to hit another person, but going back and forth, can also be a bilateral movement that helps you recenter. And then 30 seconds of self-inquiry. So asking, what do I need right now to be okay, the trophy, that I can do for myself and be healthy in the future. These steps encourage you to live in the present moment. You will increase your awareness and thoughtful decision making, helping you act in ways that you'll feel good about. Ultimately, understanding anger and addressing it constructively will allow us to regain control over our actions, making sure they align with our well-being and our core values rather than being dictated by the emotion itself. What will you do next time you get slightly annoyed?